कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी यशोधनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोधन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोधनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोधनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Shila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol। युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये, नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 27, title Attacked by Chandaveg on the city of King Puranjana, the character of Kalakanya. Text 17. Shiyamane swasambandhe ekasmin bahubir yudha chintam param jagamartaha sarashtra purabandhavaha Shiyamane swasambandhe ekasmin bahubir yudhaha chintam चिंतां परम जगमार्तः सराष्ट्रपुरबान्धवः क्षीयमाणे स्वसम्बन्धे एकस्मिन् बहुभिर्युधा चिन्तां परं जगामार्तः सराष्ट्रपुरबान्धवः क्षीयमाणे स्वसम्बन्धे एकस्मिन् बहुभिर्युधा चिन्तां परां 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 जगामार्तः सराष्ट्रपुरबान्धवः. Word to word meaning. Shiyamane, when he become weak. Sambandhe, his intimate friend. Ekasmin, alone. Bahubhi, with many warriors. Yuddha, by battle. Chintam, anxiety. Param, very great. Jagam, obtain. Artha, being aggrieved. Sa, alone, along with. Rashtra, of the kingdom. Pura, of the city. Bandhavaha, friends and relatives. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: because he had to fight along with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, the serpent with 5 hoods became very weak. Seeing that his most intimate friends was weakening, King Puranjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all become very anxious. Purport: the living entity resides within the body and struggles for existence with the limbs of the body, which are referred to here as citizens and friends. One can struggle along with many soldiers for some time, but not for all time. The living entity within the body can struggle up to the limit of 100 years with good luck, but after that it is not possible for prolong the struggle. Thus, the living entity submits and falls victim. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has sung Vruddha Kala alo saba sukha bhagala. When one becomes old, it becomes impossible to enjoy material happiness. Generally, people think that religion and piety come at the end of life, and at this time, one generally becomes meditative and some so-called yogic process to relax in the name of meditation. Meditation, however, is simply a farce for those who have enjoyed life in sense gratification. As described in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, meditation, dhyana, dharana, is a difficult subject matter that one has to learn from his very youth. To meditate, one must restrain himself from all kinds of sense gratification. Unfortunately, meditation has now become a fashion for those who are overly addicted to sensual things. Such meditation is defeated by the struggle for existence. Sometimes such meditative process pass for transcendental meditation. King Puranjana, the living entity, being thus victimized by the hard struggle for existence, took to transcendental meditation with his friends and relatives. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. Translation: because he had to fight along with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, the serpent with 5 hoods became very weak. Seeing that his most intimate friend was weakening, King Puranjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all becomes very anxious. Hare Krishna. So, here we are discussing about how Chandaveg attacking the city of Puranjana, and we have seen the Chandaveg is nothing but the Kala, and he has accompanied with so many soldiers. In yesterday's sloka we have seen like they are numbered of 720 soldiers, because 360 of day and 360 night combined to become 720 soldiers of Chandaveg time. So here the 5-hood serpent is considered as a indicates the life air, and and here the this five-headed snake who is protecting the city, when Chandavik has been attacked the city, this five-hood snake was trying to protest and fight back towards this Chandavik. And if you see, there are huge number of soldiers, 720, and one person fighting with 720 soldiers is not an easy task. So because of that, today's verse says that because he had to fight alone with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, and the serpent with five hood becomes very weak. So in this way, the slowly Chandavik started winning over the city by his strong soldiers. And we know until unless we go into the purport, we will not understand what is this translation. So here Prabhupada clearly says, a person who is into material, generally whoever the living entity takes birth, there is a prescribed date and starting and end, like birth and death, and in between they have to go with so many transformations. And we have seen how Puranjana went into these kind of transformations, like childhood to boyhood, then youth, then getting married and giving some byproducts and enjoying with that, and slowly now he is going into the old age. And we have seen how the time has passed. It's like he was not able to recognize that he has passed his whole life and in spending his whole time with his children and grandchildren, and seeing that how they are growing hundreds and thousands in the city. And in that way, generally people, because of their body conscious, they start thinking of their sons or their relatives and their grandsons and accumulating wealth and trying to give facilities to them. In that way, they pass their whole life and they don't recognize or realize that how they have passed, and now they become old. And now they are since actively working day and night for their family. Now in the old age, when their body is very weak and mind is very active, they are not able to cope up, means like there is mismatch. They are not able to work how mind is dictating, because they are completely under the control of their mind. So their whole life they are listening to the whatever mind is saying, and they are trying to accumulate as or dictated by the mind. Now in the old age, their body is not cooperating, but still mind is trying to give lot of impulses to work or to do so many sense gratification. But they lost their strength, they are very weak now. But still, Prabhupada says, he has seen literally people who are above 70 going to the pubs where trying to dance, trying to gratify their senses by engaging with the young woman, paying money and all, but they don't have stamina, they don't have strength, they are very weak. They are just simply wasting their time, simply wasting their money and time. Prabhupada says this. So and here Prabhupada he clearly says here, clearly declared here, saying that it's very difficult to meditate in the old age. Generally people think, most of the people, even we have experience, when we go for book distribution and try to give this scriptures, Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, they say, no, I don't have time, no, it's not the right time to read now, at the after age of retirement I can take it and I can read it. What they will read, what they will understand, and how much they will understand, how much they will read it. Where their whole senses are not at all cooperative. Their mind is active, but their senses are not cooperative. They are very hardly able to see with their eyes, hardly able to hear. They are struggling with their lot of diseases and not able to sit at one place, not able to hold the book and read it. It's very difficult. And people say that at the time of old age it's a good time to read at that. And even though parents are very much worried when their kids takes to this kind of started reading or practicing spirituality, they say that you should not spend more time in a spiritual activity. You just have to spend 2 minutes or 5 minutes and you should do your other activities. You should not spend more time, because they are worried if he goes into that track, then they will lose it, because they have a lot of attachment. Because now why parents have a lot of attachment to the children? There is only one reason. When they become old, their children will take care. Other than that, there is no other affection, or there are nothing else between. Now if that part is taken out, we can see the Western culture, where their kids are being thrown out of the house, saying that no, you live as how you want, and you have to live as per how much you earn. They have to get a job, and they have to struggle for their own existence. So but here the parents have the only one hope that my son will take care. Now I will take care nicely and give so many facilities, so that in the old age, when I am not in a good what we call position to earn money, at that time my children will take care, because I have given a lot of facilities to him, in the form of love and money and so many facilities, car, home, so many things. But nowadays we can see people are not taking care of their parents. When they are old, parents are old, their children feel that they are burden, because generally there is one argument generally we hear by the younger generation, saying that complaining on the older generation, saying that their grandparents or parents doesn't listen what we are saying. Whatever we say, they argue, and they don't cooperate with us, because older generation also, they have this kind of tendency to overprotect, over take caring, and they feel they know everything, and they have to do this work according to their instructions, guidance. Always like that work will not going to happen. I have seen so many ways, in my family also, my grandfather used to do all these things. So many. Now he has a huge property and he has left alone. His children, his kids, he has 7 kids. No one is there with him. No one is there. Rather, they come to him and they plunder his money and they go away. There is literally happening it. So he is alone. Because no one likes him, because he generally in his age of 80s also he used to command. So actually, when we take guidance from them and we follow, then generally we can also get some kind of nice good profits, or whatever work we sought, we get that nice good results, because they have the same kind of experience. But overly doing that, you have to do accordingly, small thing also you have to do according to my instructions, that makes younger generation who are very restless, they won't ready to accept it. So there is a fault from both sides. So in this way, generally, when people are old and still they are active, their mind is active, their body is not cooperative, it's they will get frustrated. They will be very anxious, and they will be frustrated, and because of this, they will take up to meditation, so-called meditation. Prabhupada says, they just, by the name of meditation, they try to relax themselves. That's all. So here Prabhupada says, generally people think that religion and piety come at the end of the life. This never happens actually. And at this time, one generally becomes meditative and takes to some so-called yogic process to relax in the name of meditation. So that's all. So, but actually, mind is never relaxed until unless we have seen, like, when it is been engaged in other activities, higher activities or spiritual activity, until unless, like, it won't be, like, what we call, we can't just hold it, or we can't subdue it, we can't make it calm, we can't make it mind rest, we can't keep it in rest, it is restless. So rather we have to engage the mind in some spiritual activity. Always, like, if this mind is who is dictating, and when it is being engaged in sense gratification, there will be more what we call problems. But rather, if that is being engaged in spiritual activity, that has to be practiced since from the youth. That is what Prabhupada says. Since from youth it has to be started. It's not like, at the end of the life, let me take it. At the end of the life, even though you practice much, it is very difficult to remember Krishna at the time, because it's hardly we have the memory power at the time. And people are very crazy. They behave like a child. Generally, old people, they behave like a child, and they don't remember what they are doing, how they are doing, and things like that. It is out of control. And what to speak of remembering the Krishna at the end and practicing the meditation at the end of their life, and don't know when they will die and how they will die. So instead of that, Prabhupada recommended it's in the very youth time they have to take this practice of Krishna consciousness. And in this way, when they engage their senses and mind, so generally intelligence has to control the mind, and mind will control the senses. So here, when the mind is engaged in the Krishna conscious activity, definitely mind will dictate Krishna conscious activities to the senses, and senses will be engaged in that way. Rather, we can do in the reverse process also. When it is very difficult to engage the mind in the Krishna conscious activity, then engage your senses first into Krishna conscious activity. Then slowly the mind will get habituated, and when we are keep on doing, definitely, like, the mind will get habituated, then it will be continuously doing it. So it's not that easy also to do this meditation as how it is been recommended by Bhagavad Gita, dhyana and dharana. It's not that easy, but it has to be practiced from the youth. When it is being practiced from the youth, then, like, after practicing for many years, yes, one can expect, like, yes, they are progressing in this process. Always they have some hard time to continue. Some may also give up, saying that we thought like it's very easy, but no, it is very difficult. It will be very easy when you practice since from the child. It's not like bhakti yoga is so easy. Like, when it is being started practicing from the childhood, there is no age limit, you can say. But it is the best is, like, when it is being practiced from the childhood. It's like someone doing some activity on the tips of their hands, fingers. It's say, like, just like that they do, right? Some experts, they execute some work just like that, because they know that, because they have practiced from so many years. So only they are called experts. So like that, when living entity is being given this opportunity as a human life, and when they practice this in a right way, taking this Krishna consciousness starting from the childhood, youth, then definitely when at the time of old age, they don't have to become a struggle to control their senses or control their mind and engage it in the Krishna consciousness. Naturally it happens. Naturally it happens. So here, because of this, where Puranjana was completely engaged in sense gratification, now he is feeling very weak. Now he not only he and his friends and citizens who are living with him, they are also feeling very anxious. No, they are very much worried now, thinking that no, what will happen to us, because they are dependent on Puranjana. So here the soul, we can see this Puranjana, the soul living in the city is struggling for existence. Generally, when this soul, when it understands the its real nature, its real what we call constitutional position, what is his nature and all, then easily it can be engaged nicely in the Krishna service. Then there will be no anxiety. There will be no anxiety. But rather here Puranjani started doing his own sense gratification. Now he is so weak, like we can see someone who is dependent on others. When we lost them, in this corona time, we have seen so many families, they lost their family head, and now before they are dependent on him or someone, and they have lost them. Now they are like in difficult situation, and they are very anxious. Now how should I take care? How should I, like who will take care of us? They are very anxious. Like when my grandmother, she was taking care of all of us, when she left, we are also having this kind of anxious, like who will take care of us, and how we will manage everything. But if you see, this is the ignorance actually. Like they are not actually taking care. Lord is taking care. Lord is providing everything. Lord is providing everything. But since they are in ignorance, they are not able to understand that Lord is actually doer, maintainer and everything, and he is sustaining all of us. We are all dependent on him, and rather because of ignorance we are not able to realize that, and we think that because of him I am being taken care. I always think it's like some kind of wonder for me, like there are out of 84 lakh species, only 4 lakh species are very anxious for these things, but other 8 lakhs of species, they are happily living. There are no worries about food, maintenance and everything, because we can say, like these 4 lakh species out of 84 lakh species, human species which are there, they are highly intelligent than other species. But these highly intelligent species are very anxious about their care, their sustenance and all, existence and all. But other than that, these 4 lakh highly intelligent human species, other than that, all these lower living entities, they are nicely, peacefully enjoying their life. Rather, we created a lot of chaos in between them. We did so much problems to them, like we extend some species also. We made it. So this is what this 4 lakh species of humans are doing to the other 80 lakhs of species. But if you see, this highly intelligent human species are very ignorant. They are not able to understand who is a maintainer. Than like this lower species, they understood it, and they are peaceful. Definitely when they are hungry, you can see, like every day 6 o'clock we see here hundreds of pigeons coming over here and eating their food. Somehow Lord is arranging their food. It's not like I am giving, so pigeons are coming eating. Who is giving to you? Lord is giving to you, and you are giving to the pigeons. Means Lord is giving to the pigeons, and pigeons are very happy. Tomorrow if you don't give also, they are happy. They will not come here, they will go other place, and they will get their own food. But humans are so anxious, like, today I will not get, tomorrow I will not, what should I do? I should work very hard and I should accumulate so much money, and who will take care of my children, grandchildren, and so and so, so and so. He keep on working like a, like an animal. In this case, animals are not working much actually. So we can't give an example of animal, because they are not working. Animals are not struggling a lot. Humans are struggling a lot for only 2 pieces of rotis. How much they can eat? Okay, 3 or 4. So how much they can eat at the end of the day? Their belly is so much, so like, they will eat only 3 or 4, that's all, rotis. Someone may eat more, but not much than that, right? How much really? For that they are working a lot. But rather you can see, those who are taking Krishna consciousness, they are not very anxious. They are anxious in terms of spirituality, not in terms of material sense gratification. We have seen how gopis are very anxious, about Krishna. When Krishna is going out with his cows, to the forest, they are very anxious that, what will happen to the, lotus feet like Krishna's feet. They will get, poked with thorns and pebbles and all. They are so much anxious, and they used to wait till the end, in the end of the day, evening, when Krishna returns, and they used to feel, when Krishna, is all right, then they feel very happy. So like this, there are so many instances. This spiritual anxiety is good, but not material anxiety. Material anxiety is like for own purpose, for my own self. I'm anxious about my own sense gratification. Now this is material anxious, and this anxiety will kill a person. And that spiritual anxiety is like, very happy anxiety. It's not like that anxiety will kill you. That anxiety will give some kind of higher taste. So that anxiety is good. Rather having this material anxious, we should be having spiritual anxious. So that's all. I don't have much information about this. Maybe someone can add. I would like to end here now. So someone can add comments or corrections if you have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this point of animals are more happy than humans, it's a very nice thing to meditate on, because we see that when humans try to do what animals are supposed to do, obviously humans will be miserable. But then when they actually utilize their capacity to do something higher, that is Krishna consciousness, then they will be happy. Or else, as we said, the birds and beasts, they are actually more peaceful, just doing the 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But whereas humans, they want a change in everything. In eating, they want change. In sleeping, they want change. Mating, they want to change. And defending also, they want a lot of change. So this tendency of enjoyment in everything is actually causing the misery, to the human beings in general. But then when this tendency of enjoyment is given up and taken to Krishna consciousness, and when we understand that we are servants of Lord and serve the Lord, then the person will be peaceful and happy. Otherwise, he'll be miserable throughout life. And as you rightly said, in the old age when he takes to meditation, what meditation he'll do? Just think of sense gratification, nothing else. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this point that people be saying that this religion, Krishna consciousness is at the last stage, you no need to do now. So practically I was saying that. So who told me they are not able to practice now? I asked you the same question. Are you able to do it now? You are 50. No, I am not able to do it. So it's perfectly shows it's not at the time of end. It's right now. So we have to take it now. So at the old age, definitely there is a fear who will take care of me, especially. And coming to even Brahmachari ashram, I feel that even till the last time, till the last breath, by the Lord's mercy, I may be in the ashram. But the thing is, if I don't attain Krishna, what is the use? Even Chandavega is attacking me. But it's very difficult. So instead of feeling who will take care of me at the end, So if we have attained Krishna by that time, at the end, without having that fear, we can relish that Krishna consciousness with the bhakti. So if you see all many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, even at the end, they are relishing Krishna consciousness, and the complete faith Krishna will take care, and Krishna is taking care of it. So that is a wonderful point. I like it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, some points which were highlighted, which I could note down, are that only when the mind is attached to spiritual activities, when mind receives the culture of spiritual activities, then the culture of sense gratification and exploitative tendency will be replaced. The culture of spiritual activity may be new, but it's very powerful. However, the culture of exploitation and madness is many, many lifetimes old. So, the only way is to immerse the mind through practice and detachment on the path of Krishna consciousness. And you made a very nice point that material anxiety actually kills people. It gives them hypertension, blood pressure, anxiety, insomnia, migraine, so many things. But spiritual anxiety puts one in bliss. However, from external vision, it is very difficult to differentiate. If somebody has the vision of Mother Yashoda, they will say, next 2 minutes, this lady is going to die, because she is in so much anxiety. But that is the bliss of her life. So, spiritual anxiety is the purpose of human existence. In one conversation, one disciple is asking, Srila Prabhupada, I'm always worried whether I'm doing my rounds nicely or not, whether I'm able to chant nicely or not, whether I'm able to do services or not. This is spiritual anxiety, right? Srila Prabhupada said, no, this is not spiritual anxiety. Spiritual anxiety means not about one's own self. Spiritual anxiety means in relation to Krishna and the devotees of Krishna. Mother Yashoda was not anxious about herself, she was anxious about Krishna. So that gives us the picture of spiritual anxiety, that how selfless it is, and that the reason why one is selfless and very blissful in that, because the very criteria, the very basis of spiritual anxiety is for Krishna and for the devotees of Krishna. So that is the culture of Sankirtan movement. So that was a very nice point made by you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari. I was just thinking about the point you mentioned where parents usually, bring up the children in such a way that they, they take care of them nicely, so that at the end, when they become old, they can be taken care of. But then, I was just thinking about this. So, like, usually, the job of the parents is to not just help them take care of their body, but also their soul. They have to enrich not just the body, but the soul has to be enriched as well. And so that's the job of the parents to inspire them and instill Krishna consciousness in them. Because if you don't do that, then it's just like bringing up cattle. You're just bringing them in such a manner where you take care of them, at the end you just reap what you've sowed. So that's how parents must bring up the children. You should help them, not just you should instill good values in them, and at the same time instill Krishna consciousness in them. Because eventually, when you have these good values and you are strong, fixed on Krishna consciousness, then eventually you will, the children will take care of the parents at the end. So these are the values that must be brought about in the family. Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, शील प्रभुपाद की।